System malfunction. Welcome to the future.
Good evening, everybody. Oh, I got my chat feed up there. Whoops. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining the show. Thanks for checking out the show. Thanks for all the new subs. Thanks for all the comments and the videos. I appreciate that so much. It means everything to me. I'm excited for tonight. Excited and honored because when we came across this gentleman a few days ago, I was blown away with his hard work. Being able, it's one thing to see Google, but being able to see somebody actually take you from doorstep to parking lot to street, it's invaluable. So I want to say thank you to him for his hard work and his efforts. for creating the content that he is creating. I appreciate him. And I'm excited to see where his channel goes. And I'm excited to see uh, what he's going to be able to do when it comes to making a difference in this true crime community. I think he's going to be able to make a huge impact. And I mean that. So I don't want to hold it off any longer. I want to introduce Thou Shalt Not Kill True Crime. Thank you so much for joining the show, sir. Appreciate you.
Absolute pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.
There we go. No, thank you, man. I appreciate you taking out time out of your evening and your busy schedule to be able to come here and hang out and have some conversations, man. I'm excited.
Sounds good.
So I wanted to kind of, we're going to listen to that phone call he put out, and what a freaking video, dude. Bravo. Like, I can't even say enough good things about it. Not only the content, but the message. And I think there's a lot of people out there, there's going to be some naysayers, but I think there's a lot of people out there that have kind of been saying that these are definitely possibilities for a very long time. And, everybody has their own opinion. But I think that a lot of the people that maybe got bashed a lot are starting to feel like maybe what their opinion or speculation is actually starting to be heard in a way. And so thank you to the gentleman that was comfortable enough to place the phone call. And thank you, sir, for being comfortable enough as well.
It was definitely the call of a lifetime. I'll say that. As you saw, you probably watched the video. I was just kind of blown away by what I was hearing, because it was validating a lot of what I have been coming across in my research. Everything that I keep hearing, I have locals contacting me saying, "Hey, this is what's, yeah, what you're saying is true, dude, but we just can't say anything because we're being bullied pretty much. They're scared. They're being scared." And I can't figure out why. Kind of from that phone call, we're kind of getting what's going on. But this is a much deeper issue, and I really wish that people would kind of listen a little more to what's being said. There's a lot of evidence out there. It's been anyone that's around. I'm in this area, so anyone who's in this area knows that house was the house, and that Demetrius and Emma were the people that were the ones running that house. So everybody knows that. So I don't know.
Well, I appreciate you being comfortable enough to talk about that too, because I know it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
I know it's a difficult one, but at the same time, we are dealing with true crime, and we are dealing with real life, and sometimes those things do exist. And so, even though it's an ugly side, it's a side that has to be spoke of too when it really does exist.
Yeah.
So
absolutely, because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in this case that feel like they don't have a voice, and the reason why I got into true crime and the reason that I wanted to do this channel was because of this case. I've always loved true crime, and I'm fascinated by it. My sister has a criminology degree, so I've gone back and forth with her. But this case just really got to me because I'm close to it, and everything about it since day one has just sent alarm bells off in my head, man. And I hope through my content, through my videos, I've started to kind of educate people on these facts that the mainstream media, for some reason, does not want to talk about. It's super obvious. What's the timeline? Okay, can you explain the timeline to me? Why did Brian Kohlberger stop twice at Brent Kopacka's house on November 13th? Why did that happen? So it's just they just brush things aside. And if you ask the hard questions and you ask the right questions, the mainstream media will bash you for that. But that's okay, because you're barking up the right tree. You're just, you got to do it, because we've been been lied to. Like people that are smart enough to trust their gut, know it, and it's just time for the narrative just to be told. That's all. The narrative needs to change, and we need to find the real truth. That's just all I'm about. I don't want the views. I don't want the glory. I just want the truth, to tell you the truth, man. So,
Right on.
I'm just doing what I can right now.
Right on, and that's the best foundation too, because it's a solid one when it comes from the heart. You can have the hurricanes of media coming at you, not wanting you to talk about shit. You can have the tornadoes of locals telling you to be quiet and be safe, and it's that strong foundation when it comes from the heart and the passion is real. That's when you can weather all those storms and still stand strong. So I appreciate you, man. I really do.
Yeah.
So you said this was the
appreciate it, man. Thank you.
case. Oh, you're welcome, man. You said this was the case that got you started creating a channel, or true crime in general?
Yeah.
Or does it go deeper than that? Did true crime
No,
start?
I've been in true crime for a while. It's just like I was always very nervous about starting a channel, just because I've studied other, I hear about like how hard it is, and you got to deal with the comment sections and a lot of negativity sometimes. And I'm starting to see that, but the brightest, it's been such a blast, and it's been such like you and I got to meet, man. Like if I didn't start a YouTube channel, you and I aren't talking right now. So it's like I really want to like meet like-minded people that are smart, want to have an open conversation without bashing. Really a great experience. It's kind of surreal at the same time. I didn't expect to get this far this quick, but I don't know. It's just and I seem to have.
Dude, sorry.
Was that?
Oh no, it's good.
No, it's okay.
No, go ahead. I was just great content, man. I mean, when you're making the great content, I mean, because you not only take us through, right? You not only walk us through, but your theories and your thoughts and your opinions and your questions and your it's almost like you can see the thought process working while you're making the video, and I think that's why the content stands out.
I appreciate that. And that's like, again, where I would go back and forth with my sister in the criminology. It just I know how these guys think. Like I know like what the tactical thing is to do, stuff like that. And it's just like, to me, it's like, okay, again with Koberger. So what we're told is that he's very tactical. He's a PhD student. He doesn't make mistakes. He's the smartest guy in the room. Everything that he's done supposedly in this case is like totally against what they are telling us. He makes so many mistakes, gets caught on camera multiple times, brings his own phone, brings his own car. Like he knows all this stuff not to do that.
Right. That was the craziest part. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like using logic. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just like, and then timeline, like I said, you want to tell me that 2 girls didn't hear that we're home and we're supposed to sleep, and then see the narrative keeps changing. When they keep changing the narrative, that means they don't know what the hell they're talking about, man. That means they, and then they say there's occupants in the car, and then it changes to occupant. So it's just like, man, like, they would have had it. It would have been okay if it would have stayed consistent, but it never stayed consistent.
Right.
Ever.
I mean, even the coroner, even from the very get-go, when they came out and said that it was an unalive, self-unalive scenario, and then all of a sudden it just changed, and it just kept, every press conference, it was like you weren't saying anything new, but then you were kind of contradicting things each time, the whole time. Like, even with the vehicles, you're putting out one vehicle, but you got one vehicle in multiple locations at the same time. I don't understand it. You're right. None of it makes sense. And so why does none of it make sense? And that's the question. So what channels inspired you? So was there any channels that inspired you, or?
Well, let's see. So channels that really that influenced me was Harsh Reality was a good one. I like JB Gunner a lot. I just he's a little raw, a little rough sometimes, but I mean his information is top notch. I think guy's on it. Joseph Trade's really good too. So I mean channels like that. I haven't even watched Truth and Transparency. I haven't seen her yet, but I know she's really good.
Yeah, she's amazing.
But here's the thing: I didn't want to watch too many other channels. Yeah, I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to be my own kind of, and so that's where the boots on the ground kind of thing came out. I was like, oh, I just didn't see a lot of it, so I was like, yeah, and I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to go out there and immerse yourself in it. And then actually, you know what, man, that's what really kind of like makes the content better is because we were talking about it a little bit before here. Is when you get there, you can like you can start to see it in your mind. Like you can start because you're there, so you're like, oh, all right. And I swear, like I don't want to say you put yourself in the situation, but things make a lot more sense when you're actually at the scene and you see it for yourself. And you're like, okay, wait a second. Then you can start to question things you see the surroundings, you see where the parking is, you see where the back trail of the house trail, how you just start asking questions because it doesn't make any sense. No, it just doesn't.
Don't.
So that's kind of just an advantage I have. It's just when you're on, helps a lot.
The first video I ran into you on your channel, I think it was last Thursday, was because I've been talking about this Coburger Kopaka thing for a while, and I clicked on your video because you drove from Coburgers to Kopakas, and that's what I was like, well, hell, I'm talking about this shit. So we checked it out, and I kind of can understand where you're coming from, because was it when you, in your video, when you shut the door, was it when you actually grabbed the door handle that then everything just fucking hit you, man?
Oh, dude,
or was
that's
it?
when I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
this went down. You're just like, yeah. That was just a real feeling too. But I think when I really started to lock in on Kopaka, it was on the drive there, and then I parked my, like I said, I parked my car, and I was just like, what are you doing? And then it just kind of all hit me. I was like, no fucking way. This guy's got to be. There's something up. Like, you don't stop by somebody's house as tactically as you are, going to kill 4 people, and stop at a house twice. It makes no sense. Out 7 minutes away from your house 2 times.
Exactly.
Don't make any sense, dude.
Exactly.
Why would you
it
do
doesn't, man.
So dumb.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
T-Bird is really good channel.
So yeah. It's funny because so linking those two is getting a little more clear as well. I'm very sure, like I said in my video as well, that one of the two is Papa Rogers. One of the two. I don't know who it is, but it's one of the two.
I've always thought it was Kopaka.
I think so too. And then inside looking
thought
is I believe.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about the threads. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Maybe that's how they were coming.
I've even tried to find. I did a read through way back then. With
I can send it. I have the threads. I have all of them. I can send
Are you
them to
serious, man? Because man, that'd be amazing. Because man, me and my mods, we've been looking for a week, guys, like a week trying to find this old episode. Because I just like you, I watched just a couple YouTube channels, ATS News, CDT, Armchair Detective. And when I started, I totally know what you mean when it comes to being your own flavor, is a good way to put it, because you kind of you're figuring it all out on your own. You have your own unique content where you're figuring out how to position the camera the right way when you're walking and talking and all of this stuff, and at the same time I am trying to figure out how to run the tabs and all this other stuff. So I think it's really cool. Yeah, man. And I think it's really cool that it's good to approach it that way, because you are your own flavor. You are unique, and so therefore your content is always going to be fresh. And so did you hop on any of these panels before, or were you just kind of chilling back, maybe messaged a little bit in the shows that you would watch, or would you kind of hop up and talk about stuff too? Or
Yeah, so I mean, I'm more of like kind of an observer kind of a person. I really like to like sit and just analyze and just watch everything that's going on. So like I take in my surroundings and everything like that. So it's just like I don't know. It's just to me that's smart. I was just kind of taught to do that. Like always know your surroundings. Always like analyze, figure out where you are, think logically. Big on thinking logically. But the hardest part about filming on the go like that is when you fuck up and you gotta do it all over again. That's the hardest part. Um, you think you got the shot, and then you go check your camera and it's not there, and you're just like, oh my god, it was 20 minutes of work that I gotta go do all over again.
yeah,
Same shit, same script.
that's like me with editing my videos and stuff, man. I know what you mean. It's like you get something that's like, shit, I didn't stop
shit
it at
happens
the
all the
right
time.
spot. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's awesome. So when did this call take place, man, that you put out
So
today? What a video.
it's
too.
funny. So like what I do is
Oh, I'm sorry. It must be bugging.
not even
'cause
24 hours ago, bro.
I didn't
Like,
mean to cut you off. Sorry. Am
Huh?
I lagging? Am I lagging? I had my
no, we're good.
internet people
No, that
come out today.
yeah, I haven't seen your picture move in a while, but that's all right.
Uh-oh. What's up, everybody?
Um,
So it was only 24 hours ago?
All right, so the call. Yeah, so it's not even 24. I think he called me about 9 o'clock last night, and
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Last
it
night.
was insanity. So yeah, I mean, basically, this guy he got in contact with me through. I mean, he saw my video about Moscow, like I said, where I was at the Mad Creek, and then that's where it kind of like triggered for him that like, oh, okay, this guy's on the right track. So he just got into, asked for my email, sent me an email, a bunch of emails, and he's like, hey man, just read this information. If you think it's legit, give me a call. So I called him, and the rest is history after that, I guess.
Interesting. So
But,
is it
yeah.
Is it cool if we sit back and watch it? I'm sure there's some people. I mean, hell, there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that have seen it. Shit, man, it's like, hell, what is it at now?
Well, I don't know. I haven't checked in a while.
30,000, man. 30,000. I mean, fucking bravo, dude.
Shit. Okay.
Bravo.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, there might be a couple people that haven't seen it. I don't know. Maybe not. But we're going to sit back and play this for a minute. Let you guys check it out. I'll turn down the music and I'll put up closed captioning, so it'll, it's YouTube. It'll do the best that it can. Sometimes it mixes up the words, but we'll sit back and check out this call. If you need your notebook and a pen, you might want to write some stuff down because there's some interesting information.
Yeah,
in
there's a
this.
lot of info in there. A
Interesting.
lot of info.
And thank you again for making this, man.
Well,
Appreciate
hello, everyone. I don't have much of an intro for this video. So I guess I'll just get right into it. What this man is about to tell you is what I believe to have exactly happened, or damn well close to it. And we've been suspecting this for a long time. And I've verified that Moscow is a drug haven, and that house was a drug den. And you're about to get confirmation of that, and then some. Enjoy. Hello, this is Rory speaking.
Hey, Rory. Yeah, how you doing?
Hey, man, nice to talk with you.
Just, I guess, where I kind of want to start.
Okay.
is who I am, so you kind of understand where I come from.
Sure, buddy.
But for like well over 2 decades, I mean, I was pumping out. I mean, I controlled like the northern half of Minnesota, into North Dakota, into Wisconsin, and up to international calls, into I don't know where went there, probably up in Canada.
Okay.
I did that for over 20 years. I mean, I kind of know how this operates a little bit.
Okay.
I was more like and this is the only,
No good subtitles. Thank you.
I'm 63 years old. So,
All right.
the easiest way to explain this is I was like a bishop. Okay.
I'm sorry. What? Can you explain what that is to me?
Okay.
Sorry, I just don't know.
You know chess, right?
Okay.
There's like kings and queens.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Okay. I'm like a bishop. I was like a bishop.
Okay.
I stopped doing it in 2003, and that was because of a raid where my place was surrounded by fucking 2 airplanes and coming in from the woods with fucking camouflage, all that shit. Anyway, so I've been out of it since 2003. Anyway, so Moscow. I started digging in and researching Moscow, the town. That's the dirtiest fucking little town one thing. I come from Byron,
Okay.
and that's dirtier than this. And, I started just seeing things. And then people were saying, well, they're scared to talk, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm going, there's, someone pays there. And I started getting this theory about it might be a hub.
I think you're like the second or third person to tell me that actually. So I'm starting to believe it. Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So I started thinking that, and I came, I'm in a group that for the Idaho board, and so I posted this theory, and I put out a profile with this guy would be like if there was a king there, and last night I was watching this video, and it was that one, I can't remember which one it was, but it showed a business downtown.
Yes. Matt Greek
Yeah,
out of Sitka, Alaska. So what are the owners got something to do with that?
exactly, dude. Have you looked up the owner?
No, I have not.
Links, dude. I got the links.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
He's international. He's fucking international. They keep moving around. They moved around from South Carolina to all the like.
So the owner they have is just a front.
That's it comes from.
So the businesses that they have up there is just a front. Are they saying Mad Greek is just a front?
So
Or him?
whoever, there's supposed to be a woman owner there right now. She's just a front. She's not the real owner. It's that Constantinos guy.
Really? Okay.
That's the real owner.
Take a look at it.
Hmm.
Once. Him and his daughter.
Okay.
And then of course you got Xana and Maddie that work there.
So Zanny was the target.
Xana was the target.
Shit.
That's well. Here's what I heard. I heard that Maddie flushed
A bunch of drugs down the toilet or something.
a bunch of drugs down the toilet. That Xana was in control. So I think the targets are both Xana and Maddie.
So is that why Maddie said, I told Adam everything, and then that one dude's like, man, they're gonna get you? So that's what that was?
To get you for this, that whole town is fucking scared because
I know.
there's a king there, dude.
I know, dude. I have a couple people like, I want to say this to you. I want to tell you this, but I can't because something fucking's gonna happen to me. And I'm just like, what's gonna happen to you? Like, who's making you so scared?
Right. Wait till you see what this guy looks like, and you will know why.
Wow. Yeah, man. You can send me those links. That'd be fantastic.
I'll send you the links.
Okay.
And wait till you see his name.
Is he Russian?
They did come from Greek. They
So he's
did come
Greek.
from Greece. They're international, dude. It's like bigger than I ever was.
See, dude, I knew there was something way more to this case.
So I'm gonna share this real quick, just for a couple seconds. That's the individual that he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So he says Maddie flushed rugs down the toilet and Zaina was in control. In control of the house? Is that what he means?
No, in control
Or-
of. So when Emma and Demetrius aren't around, she's in control of that. So
Okay.
we've been able to confirm. I mean, obviously she's part of the operation. So maybe she was the
Right.
one that was in control of keeping the stuff at the house,
Storing them or
keeping,
whatever?
storing them, keeping the inventory, and then Maddie went in and said enough is enough and took it out, flushed it down the toilet, and it cost her.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. We'll get back to this. Man, thank you so much for putting this out there, man. Appreciate it. And thank you to the gentleman that called too.
Yeah.
Major hub, and this is, you know, this is, I can't prove this or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but my suspicions are very high that it's not just that hub.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it's international.
So who are Emma and Demetrius in this?
Okay, now this is where it kind of comes to a serious. We can get into that a little bit. Is everything done? I mean, it really needs to be.
What's that?
The whole king thing needs to be explained pretty well, I think.
Okay, let's do that.
I mean, of the, you know, the hub.
Who's going to explain to you who Casanucas is right now?
Okay, yeah. You kind of briefly.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
So he's going to explain to you really who he's going to explain to you what the king is, what his ruse is, like all the different fronts that he has, and who he's going to tell you who he is.
Basically, like how the whole operation works in a way.
Right. Basically, how Casanucas is filtering all his money, what the front is, all that.
This is interesting.
The whole king thing needs to be explained pretty well, I think.
Okay, let's do that.
I mean, of the, you know, the hub. That it's a hub. Now, did that get explained? I mean.
Okay, yeah. You kind of briefly explained that, but so Moscow is a hub from. So San Diego goes through there, and then it goes to Alaska, and then it goes to.
Okay, so that all was said then. Okay.
Okay.
So that would. All right. That's what that's kind of important. I think.
No, it's very.
I'm sorry.
important.
Casanucas takes the drugs from Idaho
Oh, sorry, man.
to Alaska.
So he takes them from Idaho to Alaska. I did see somebody mention
So-
something about Alaska in the chat.
That's where he's from. Or that's where he's running his operation out of. I think he has
Really?
multiple business up there. If you see on the Mad Greek, right on the front, Sitka, Alaska. That's where they're from, Sitka, Alaska.
No shit.
So he just takes it so it gets delivered to the Mad Greek, and then they take it from the Mad Greek, and then they take it up to their other place up there in Sitka.
Wow. Shoot. All right. I'm going to get a picture of that pulled up here, and we'll go ahead and check a
Yeah, you'll
couple
see
more
it.
minutes of this out. Holy shit. Alaska on the front of it, huh?
Yeah, Sitka, Alaska, 1998.
Wow.
Did I go into the profile? I know I typed it to you.
What's it called?
The profile of somebody like that.
I got the picture of.
Yeah, but I texted to you.
Wait, hold on.
I don't know if I said it to you on the phone thing.
I don't know. Let me see. You said, by the way, some tidbits. BK was into coke to help with his migraines, and then.
Right.
Oh, you said
I
follow.
texted you before I called.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on.
I got into it on the phone.
I don't think you did either, because all I have is Konstantinos and then a couple links, and then I'm sure his daughter's involved also. You have more, and then I got a couple of like screenshots of her and the family, and then you said, "Oh, here, follow the money always. There's enough so you can just look stuff up. They travel a lot more than an income."
Keep going up. There's got to be more.
That's all I got, my man.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my God. Where the fuck did that go?
I don't know, my man.
What?
It's just one of those days. Sorry.
Let me look on my end here. on a second. What the fuck? Okay, so I didn't get into the profile.
No.
I think that might be a good start, actually.
Yeah, let's learn who this guy is.
Yeah, let's get into the profile of what kind of person they would be looking for to be a king.
Okay.
Because I know what kind of person that is.
All right. So tell me about him.
Okay, so here goes. The profile of somebody that would be like a king of a drug operation that they control.
Yeah. Okay.
The community would love them. I mean, they would donate to the community. They will own businesses. They will own like a restaurant, a bar, a club, a hotel. Actually, that's kind of big. There might be a hotel in the area that they use. There would be.
So is he saying it's not just one, but it's multiple? So like hotels, restaurants.
I mean, well, you got multiple. Like listen, it's a drug hub, so they use multiple fronts. I mean, the same laundromats. They'll use hotels. They'll use restaurants. They'll use construction companies, whatever.
And these people are the ones kicking it with the mayors and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh. They know everybody in high places.
Well, that's how they're able to get away with it. This is why the police don't give them any shit. Is because they have pull with all the politicians there. All right. So I'm very sure, this is hypothetical. I can't prove this obviously, but usually how that stuff works, right, is they pay off the politicians. They look the other way. Pretty sure that's what's happening out there. I've looked up this guy, Constantine. This guy's loaded.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He travels everywhere. You know, that's all he does is travel, and he reports. I saw somebody in your chat say they report their income is $425,000 a year. I highly doubt that. I've never met a restaurant that did that. So yeah.
Wow.
So that's yeah.
His daughter went to the high school in Moscow and the university where she joined Alpha. Wow.
Yep. So I was going to say that's where the connection is between Dylan and the daughter of Konstantinos.
Wow. People in Moscow. So this is right here. This is the front of the Mad Greek, and it does say established Sitka, Alaska. Wow. Crazy good food. You went there and ate, right? You got the Coburger special? No,
no, that was the other restaurant that I went to.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't go in there. I don't know. Didn't feel right to tell you the truth. Yeah.
Coburger special just stuck out to me. That's all I remembered. So I thought that was funny as shit, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
No, it's funny. It's like when I walked by the Mad Greek last time, I had this like weird vibe. I get these like weird vibes like I did by the bench at Coburger's house, and now I understand why.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It doesn't look very big at all either.
No, it's a very small place. Yeah, it's very small. So that brings up a good point. I mean, Coburger was there, so there's no way that he did not see Maddie because of how small that place is.
Yeah.
So that's where
you didn't walk in it.
What's that?
No, I didn't walk in it.
No.
Mention from that Greek Slider. Interesting. The grandpa was a senator in Alaska.
See, that might have been the picture I sent you of the obituary.
Oh, because I was wondering.
That's what it was.
That was okay.
That's what that was. So connections. connections to politics right there. They're connected.
Grandpa was a senator in Alaska. Very interesting. Thank you.
And they use the businesses to wash money.
Okay, yeah.
Because it needs to be washed.
Right.
So you're looking at somebody, like I said, people really like the person. And they get along, but they like those small college towns because they go in there and they can get ponds to
Okay.
to do their work.
Okay.
And they also have bishops. The people that went into that house that night would be bishops. Not ponds, but they would be bishops.
Right. So you told me earlier that most likely this was an ordered hit from who? Would it be Demetrius or from Konstantinos?
Konstantinos
It'd be Konstantinos, huh?
would put out the order. He won't get his freaking.
Well, that's what I mean. He put up. Of course, he's not going to get his hands dirty, but yeah, no, he's the one who said, "Hey, this use." Now, I'm interested who he called. Did he call Demetrius or did he call somebody else?
I would think he would call either Demetrius or Emma or Brent.
Oh, that's right, because you said Brent's involved with the other two, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's involved.
So he's saying the king, or the owner of multiple businesses, is the one that ordered it through D, Emma, or Brent, basically.
Right.
And Brent is Kopaka, if nobody knows that.
Actually, I have a friend that was in the Green Beret.
Was that like a shocked look right there, man, when you did that? When you looked at the camera like
Just
that?
because it kind of hit me, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is all making sense now." Like it's kind of for me started. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I just noticed that. I saw you look. I was like, oh yeah, that's one of those moments, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's involved. Actually,
Appreciate your content, man.
I have a friend that was
I
in
appreciate
the Green Beret and stuff, and he laughed at this dude. And when I told him that they got this BK, and he said, "There's no way. There's no way. This was a trained killer.
Well, it has to be.
This was a trained killer that did it that fast."
Yeah,
I did that on 2 floors. Absolutely.
Right. I don't think it really went down that fast, like they're saying. I think their time is the way he screwed up. But, it would still be somebody like Brent.
Right. Right. That's also what you mentioned, was that the girls also had to have heard something, and we talked about the cover up as well. Right. So obviously those girls know something and had to hear something. So is it possible? Is it okay? So could Kopaka do it all by himself, or do you think there was 2 people?
There was 3 there.
3.
No doubt.
Oh, there's 3. Okay.
And then BK comes in later.
And BQ. That's what I thought. I thought he comes in.
BK been like,
Hold on, let me.
and the knife might have been used doing cocaine to help with migraines and that snowy crap that he would get.
Snow vision, right?
Right. And people do pawn stuff for coke all the time.
Oh, all the time. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that knife might have been there already.
You know, it's funny because if you go look at Demetrius's profile, I believe it's Twitter or Facebook. Yeah, no, it's Twitter. There's this pic where there's like he's trying to sell a bunch of shit, and guess what's in there? A big ass K-bar.
Right.
So I saw that and I was like, ooh, that raised a big red flag, but I just couldn't pin the 2. I knew. Look, I thought, and look, Emma Bailey looks so much like what's her name? His name, Koberger. They look like they're related, man.
Oh my god.
It's fucking ridiculous. Like they look so like.
Right.
Well, that's right. I think he got a little something on the side there. So yeah, it looks just like him. But so I mean, here's the problem. Okay, so answer me this: if and this is why I had such a big problem with the Koberger thing, is because if you're a trained killer and you're as tactical as he's supposed to be, you're going every angle of that house, right? You're opening every door, going up and down. You're not leaving any witnesses.
Yep. Oh
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. So that's why Kopaka never really left my mind.
Yeah, it was more of a trained type person that did this stuff, and I don't know. It might have, from what I've heard is that Augie and Kaylee kind of walked into the nightmare.
Yeah, that's right. We said they. So you think? Oh, that's right. Okay, so around 3 a.m. is when you believe that Xana and Ethan got taken out, and then what? Maddie and Xana came home about a little later.
Xana and Maddie were the targets, and they were waiting for Maddie to get home. They already had Xana and Ethan, and the girls knew what was going on. I mean, there's no way in hell unless they were really fucked up.
Yeah, unless it.
Partying. Yeah.
Unless they're really zonked out or something, because there's no way in hell that they did not. I think Xana had. I mean, her fingers almost cut off. Dude, you know what I mean? She was screaming bloody murder. And yeah, that's just bullshit.
That's some bullshit right there. So
Everybody is scared, and there's a king that lives there. I'm telling you, that's a drug hub.
I did. Did you see my last video? It's called Drug House. I know. That's what I've been saying. It's been a drug hub.
Well, no, it wasn't just a drug hub. It was a drug house.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
And people are like, oh, there's people. I've been hearing it. People are like, you can't prove that. Nobody's like, no, dude, it's well known. Yeah.
It's well known.
Yeah.
Yes. And,
Interesting.
When somebody flushes drugs down the toilet and you piss a king off, he's going to put an order out.
So who's the king in the house? Because I've heard Demetrius has never been there. So it had to be Emma.
He'd be a bishop. The king would be somebody that owns a business.
So the Constantinos.
Yeah.
Oh.
Seriously look into them because, and the FBI should be, and they might be already looking into them because, somebody asked me that question. Why was there so many feds and FBI in town before it even happened?
Yeah, they're probably on them then. Yep.
And they might have been on them, and there's lots of theories out there, and people can shoot out theories, and, one of them is that, BK could be, it might be just a total opposite thing. This could all be an illusion. It could be that he's
Well, you said he's in protective custody instead of, right.
It could be. I mean, I'm not saying
Right.
the probability is a lot lower.
Well, it kind of makes sense why they keep hiding them. They're not telling us anything about what they actually have. Yeah. All this shit, moving the trial, like.
It just keeps going on and on. This is not how these court cases run. They just don't.
No, they don't. This is very, very obscure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Completely agree.
Because there's a huge investigation going on.
My God.
And they might have known it was Brett Kopaka.
Well, I think that's why they took him out, and then.
That might have been why they took him out.
Yeah. Because, dude, we talked about who are his roommates? Who the fuck are they?
Right.
There's nothing on them. There's no body cam footage of Kopaka going down.
Right.
I know. It's just like this big
weird.
thing.
Yeah, it's called for, a threat on roommates, but nobody else was there. Like what? And somebody
Yeah,
brings
I can't find a link
question.
information. Yeah,
Nothing at all.
ridiculous.
Like not
I don't
even.
I don't
not
know
even-
names. I don't
really.
even know if they exist. I don't even know if they exist. Were they even there? Like, I don't even know.
That's what I've wondered because because we started looking into it right when we heard about it from Drunk Turkey Show, the first call with WSU Kim.
Okay.
And that's when we started looking up, and there was actually information out at the time. We had articles and everything, and we were starting to check it out. There was pictures of the scene and everything, and we started to check it out. And then after they arrested Koberger, then everything kind of switched to that. And then next thing you know, you go to look up stuff again, and it's not there anymore. So it is definitely odd that, a hostage situation type, and then there's nobody there, it's like just like everything else, it just doesn't make sense. What do you think? That somebody brought up a really good question here. What do you think about that audio that's been out? Do you think it's legit, or do you think it's debunk?
Okay, well, what time? What's the time frame on it? It depends. So if it's after 4 a.m., probably. If it's before 3 a.m., well, actually, I want to say if it's after 4 a.m., it's probably fake. If it's before 3 a.m., I'd look into it then. Because
Well,
again, it's the timeline. We don't know what.
well, there is no timeline on it.
Then
It's supposedly from TikTok.
no, sorry. If that's from TikTok, I don't fucking believe it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll send you the link to it. I'm not going to play it on the show, but
Yeah.
I'll send you the link to it, and then check it out. And then the next time you want to hop on, man, we'll discuss it at that point.
Yeah. Take a look at it for sure.
Because I don't know. I feel like it's not, but that's just my opinion. Like I could be wrong too. So
Yeah, I just don't really know, to tell you the truth. But I mean, who knows? Yeah.
yeah, I'll send it to you. Check it out. We'll talk about it another time, man.
Yeah, man. Sounds good.
And then you said that you tried tracking roommates, and they don't exist. You can't
Bro, I went into the office and they're like, I don't have any information. I'm like, how do you not have any information? I don't know. Don't know who they are. Oh, okay. So they're gone. They don't exist.
Yeah, I mean, that just, no, there's something going on
No,
there.
yeah.
And the kids are scared over there. People are scared.
Well, like I said, I mean, people want to.
In it. They're not going to get the bottom of this until they
Tell the
figure
truth.
this shit out. And they need to know that this story doesn't match up about BK. It just does not match up. And then there's the two cars. One with tinted windows, one without tinted windows.
Exactly. See, dude.
Whoa. Okay, I never noticed that. One had tinted and one didn't. Really?
That hasn't been confirmed, but if you look closely, yes, the windows are different. One's tinted, one is not. And actually, if you look at the wheel well of a 2011, what was the range of the Elantra? 11 to 13, they said originally,
Yeah.
and then they kind of broadened it a little more.
Yeah.
So if you look at the remember the iPhone picture they had of the Elantra?
Yeah, let me
Dude,
bring
the
it up.
wheels do not match up.
Yeah, we went over that a few
match
nights
up.
ago on the show. Yeah, because you could see. Let me see here.
Too thin.
You could see the. It kind of like sticks out a little bit, the wheel well, and you can see the illumination here. Let me show you. I just got the picture. You can see the illumination coming. See how the front is like reddish, pinkish. You can see the illumination where you can see the actual wheel well kind of sticking out. You can see it right along the top of there. And then when you look at this picture right here, you can see how around that wheel well it does kind of bulge out a little bit. And you look at the rear end of it. It definitely.
Can I also point something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Man. Yeah,
if you don't mind. So can you move the picture down a little bit? There you go. Look at this. So right here, to me, so the headlights and then above the wheel well, the where the rear view mirror is right here. This looks like it looks way more slender than the Elantra. The Elantra looks on the bottom, looks more sleek. This looks more like kind of like the back end looks kind of like a hatchback to me too. Is that even a 4-door?
Yeah, it's a 4-door.
Okay, well, the angles just don't look right to me, though. That's just my opinion, but to me, it's the angles of the two cars just don't look right, especially the wheel wells. The wheel wells look way smaller than this one, or the one on the bottom. That's just me, but.
Well, these are both 12. Now, it is kind of like the one up there is like this, and then the one down there is like that. So if you kind of twist it, I could definitely see. I mean, the back end just drops down like fucking
Exactly.
Away.
Yeah. So I'm a little.
It's just hard to tell if the windows are tinted, just with how dark everything else is around it. But I never thought about that, one being tinted and one not being tinted. So what's the other photo that he's referring to? Do you know?
That's a great question. I'm gonna have to look that up, but I have heard of it. So my have you heard of that Demetrius Robinson's brother drives in a
Yeah.
white Honda as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so who's to
Yep.
say maybe both those guys were there at the same time and one of the two Elantras got caught? Who
Right.
says it's no burgers? We don't
Exactly.
know.
Yeah, because there's a shit ton of them out there, and it's like I was saying the other night. Just because who says the person that committed the crime, if they lived in Idaho, who says they didn't take their front license plate off because they knew they were going to back up against something, and so just because it didn't have a front license plate on it doesn't mean that it was the one vehicle that was allowed to have to not have one. I definitely was like, why wouldn't somebody take their license plate off, right? I mean, you look into all
Possibly.
these other cases and they do it,
Yeah.
so I don't know. It's just odd. Like I was shocked with how many actually were registered in the area with students. Just in that area alone, I'm like, the
Yeah.
population is so small and the amount of them was just mind blowing. So
Yeah, no. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could be. Who knows? I mean, there's only a few people in the world that actually know whose car
Mhm.
it really is. But
and
Yeah.
we always wondered for a while, like what were these 51 terabytes? Like, what could it be? And it's like it's got to be the freaking video footage of every freaking Elantra that was around that area,
Oh, yeah.
and you could definitely just copy and paste and clip and piece some shit together if you really wanted to.
51 terabytes easily.
Right? That's a lot, man.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a lot.
shit. Definitely, man.
Okay. Let me see here. Let me get back to the video. It's just a couple minutes left. And then I do want to check out the other one that you referenced to in this video about the rug house. We'll go ahead and check that one out.
Okay.
too.
Okay.
They're not going to get the bottom of it until they
Tell the
figure
truth.
this shit out. And they know that this story doesn't match up with what BK. It just does not match up. And then there's the two cars. One with tinted windows, one without tinted windows.
Exactly. See, dude.
Hmm.
Well, do you remember? Do you remember when they said, "Hey, we're looking for the occupants of the car, not occupant"?
Right. I showed the color, the car with the tinted windows.
It's like, okay, so how did the narrative change so quick? Like, and how do you take away the main smoking gun for the prosecution, which was what the DNA on the knife sheath, right?
Yeah, like I said, it could have been left. I mean,
And you're not going to use it?
On the knife.
No, I know, but it's
The
just
knife was
yeah.
Hmm.
So that's what I either thought he came in and accidentally touched it because he was coming in and
I
he
think he was the one that said,
I'm trying to help you. Yeah,
I'm trying to help you. I
Yeah.
think he actually tried to help the girls.
he may have.
And then it was probably dark. He probably tried to go in and wake him up or something. I don't
Something.
know.
He didn't know what the fuck's going on.
And realized
Yeah.
it was way worse than he thought. He just got the hell out of it. That's why I really think
That's why he took off so quick and then went
yeah.
that crazy route.
I
Yeah.
would say my time as dimension was like showed you after 3.
Yeah.
Like, what time do those girls get home?
Well, that's I think 1:45 or something like that. They said so.
What was it, 1:45 or 2:45?
I think it was like 1:45.
Was it? It could have been as early as that.
Could have been.
It
But
could have been.
It might have been somewhere between 1:30 and 3 for sure. Yeah. So
You know?
it's just weird that they're saying. Wow. So why are they so stuck on the 4 o'clock?
Yeah, I don't understand that. I really have a hard time with your timeline.
And especially with the fucking DoorDash coming at 4 a.m. I'm sorry. You know how long it takes a DoorDash to get somewhere at 4 in the morning? Long ass time.
Right.
Long time.
Yeah, it's just there's something wrong, man. They did that happened in 16 minutes or whatever it happened. And that's another thing. They keep changing it. They can't even make it.
They
fit.
can't make sense of it. Yeah.
They can't even make it fit.
They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I know.
No. And the dark tinted windows. Demetrius's brothers got the car just like that.
I heard about that. So there's so much.
Yeah.
So do you think Demetrius' brother may have something to do with it? They called.
Well, I'm sure he's probably a bishop too. I mean,
Okay.
probably,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's the younger ponds, the younger kid. And Emma, she probably turned from a pond to a bishop.
Into a bishop.
And she started going to Demetrius.
Oh, she was big. She was like her and Demetrius were the ones. So
Right.
yeah.
Huh.
Right.
Yep.
This is amazing, man. Absolutely, bro.
Wow. Oh, let me switch to this real quick so you guys don't get some crazy loud audio. Wow. So why do you think they're stuck on the 4 o'clock timeline of it?
I think it's because they're just because they don't really know what the hell happened. They happen to have Koberger's car there and the pings. So that's where like, oh, it's got to be around that time. That's why they're so stuck at that 4 o'clock timeline because then they won't budge off that. So that's why Koberger's just getting nailed right now for that because unfortunately he got. If it's him, then he got caught. So these phone pings. Here's the problem though. That's a 15 to 20 mile radius.
Right? Exactly.
So he could be in Pullman. He could be in Pullman
Right.
driving around whatever the hell. I mean, I know they supposedly have him on that weird route that that he leaves from, but that could be again 15 to 20 miles in any direction. So
Yeah.
to just
it
kind of
is
nail
crazy.
this, doesn't make any sense to me either. But that's the main reason why they won't move off the 4 o'clock timeline is because they conveniently have Koberger on camera somewhere. The only one they have.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, the whole like the whole route, just doesn't make sense. There's just so much of it, and
So you know why that
makes-
route? Can I speak of that real quick? I think this route kind of only makes sense to me if in the theory that he walked into a bad scene and then he picked up the knife sheath and saw the destruction and then he just had freaked out and like just took off and had to like just grabbing his steering wheel the whole time. Fuck! What do I do? Like,
do you think that's why he went south? I mean, like way out of the way, driving through tiny. I mean, we were looking up towns on the way, and you couldn't even see a population. It was so small, and so it's like, yeah, there's definitely LE sitting out there, and somebody driving through at 4 or 5 in the morning probably doesn't happen very often. So then it's like you go back to it again. If somebody was trying to be stealthy and strategic, why wouldn't they just take the 15-minute route home instead of going through all these sketchy little towns where somebody
especially
driving
after
through is going to stand out?
Okay, so yeah, you brought up a good point. Okay, you're supposed to be a bloody mess. You just took out 4 people. Are you really going to take an hour and a half drive sitting in your car with damaging evidence?
Right.
Especially if this guy's a PhD student, criminology PhD student. No, you go straight the hell home. Don't mess around.
Yeah.
So
And
that
it's-
doesn't make a lot of sense either. Yeah.
And it's not even that bad of a ride on the way home, too, because if you're leaving the crime scene, you're only hitting just a couple minutes of city, and then you go this route by the airport, and you're by freaking farm and grass.
All
I mean,
farms. All farms.
it
it's all farms.
would be like the perfect route to go back, and then when you get back to the apartment,
The way
you're
you're
literally
supposed
just
to be.
driving
Yeah.
a minute and a half in a city neighborhood type setting, and then you're home. Yeah, the whole
So then he
going down
drives.
south.
He takes an hour and a half loop to go to back to Kopackas.
Mhm.
Does that make any sense?
Not at all.
So also,
No.
I just remember this. We haven't talked to the. Doesn't he stop at the house again? Supposedly, Koberger at 9 a.m.
Yeah, he drives by. Supposedly drives by. Shortly, I think it was like
I'm gonna-
9:12, 9:11,
9:12 to like
9:12,
9:22. Yeah,
something like that. It was early 9 a.m. something.
So
Yeah,
what's going
I
on at that
thought.
time?
Well, see, I always thought, okay, when I did think that Koberger committed it, I thought that maybe, shit just went crazy and that he came back not only to see if anybody had noticed, but also I just pictured maybe him trying to build up enough courage to go back in there to try and find it real quick. By the time he got there, his courage was just gone because he would have been noticed or whatever. Now I'm starting to wonder this because as I've been exploring this Kopaka stuff for a little while, I'm starting to wonder, like, maybe he heard it through social media like everybody else, and possibly just went to drive by to check out the frickin' house, like probably a lot of students did, I would imagine. You hear a crime goes down, uh, there's a lot of people that'll drive over there just to take a look to see what the hell's going on, just because they're curious. So I just attributed it to maybe he was, if he wasn't committed it, then he probably heard about it through social media, because social media was running at like what, 8:30, 9,
38,
something like
45
that.
around there. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you hear that stuff at 8:30, 8:45 in the morning, you're sitting there at home, take a 15-minute drive, and if you're nosy, I mean, he was studying this stuff, so why wouldn't he have maybe wanted to go by and see something that happened in his, in his neighborhood or whatever, because he was studying that, and he was curious to go see what was going on. I mean, I don't know. I definitely think that if he did have something to do with it, it was to try and go back to get up enough courage to try and get in there and find it, because,
Yeah.
I think if you watch my highlight video of why I don't think the person saw DM as, he's walking out, it's because at that point, you got so much blood and sweat,
Oh, yeah.
you would have to, in your eyes, and you're already stinging, your vision's cloudy, you can't really see a slightly cracked door, because really, let's be honest, if you're cracking a door open, you only have to open it maybe a half an inch and you can pretty much see what the hell's out there. So you really don't even have to have it cracked open that much. And so I could definitely see cloudy vision on the side. You see some sort of ambient light through the sliding glass door, and you're just focused on getting the fuck out of there. I'll come by later to get it. Maybe went home, fell asleep too long. Shit, I woke up too late. I wanted to get there before sunrise. Now it's too late. I gotta go try it anyway. Build up enough courage, get there. Shit, I'm gonna get noticed, and then you just keep driving. What do you think, man?
So, I mean, it would take him 5 hours to realize he lost a knife sheath. I kind of find
No, he realized that he lost it at the crime, but
Oh,
with everything that had gone and taken place,
okay.
you just unalive 4 people,
Mhm.
you don't know where you lost it, and so it's dark inside. You don't know where you lost it. You don't know if the cops are coming. You just did 4 people. You're exhausted. And you got stuff all over you, because you're not wiping your face off, because you got it on your hands too, or your arms. So you're not, any kind of wiping off would smear it on your face and
Absolutely.
just create it even more, the issue. So
Absolutely.
I would just assume that he was like, fuck it, I got here. It is what it is. If they find something, they find something. If not, I came here. I did what I was supposed, I came here to do. I'll come by and get it in a little bit. Went home to clean himself up, heal whatever bandages. Shit, I'm exhausted. Let me just lay down for a 45-minute nap, and then I'll go back before the sun rises. Slept through your fucking alarm. Shit, it's 9 o'clock. Ah, fuck, I gotta try and go anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I just find it very, very, very interesting how he leaves no blood trail out the back and
Right.
no blood trail. Is there a blood trail up the stairs? I've been up the stairs to his house, and you got to leave something. I haven't heard anything, so that is amazing how you do not do that after that carnage, after all that's going on, and not a drop.
Well, what about
That's
this?
cool to
Because
me.
I feel you. Now, I
Mhm.
was checking out some pictures a couple days ago on one of my shows, and there was a ladder. Now,
Somebody has mentioned that to me. Yeah.
okay, who's to say he didn't enter or exit on the roof through the living room window to the ladder on the side of the roof? Maybe that's why there's no blood trail, because maybe the blood was on the shingles.
And they never checked the shingles. Yeah, maybe. My only concern about the ladder is that it could be loud. I mean, I heard it was an aluminum ladder, right? So I think those are kind of loud. So I don't know if you would actually do that at 4 in the morning, if that's the timeline. But I have heard about it.
Or what if it was already sitting there?
If it was already sitting there, so would it be attached to the building? So what I'm thinking is like, would you have to put it up against the building, or is it already attached to it?
No, not that it's attached, just that it's leaned up against the side of the house.
Okay, that's a possibility. Anything's possible. I mean, I don't know, but
You know, I even thought of, you know, when you look at the pictures from the rear of the building, you see the
Mhm.
grill and you see a couple cinder blocks sitting there.
Yeah.
And if somebody's that tall, you could, if you know, you go to the back
you just climb up on
corner.
the balcony.
Exactly, man. That back corner where kind of by where that grill's at, you can literally stack a
Smart.
couple cinder blocks, jump up, hop up
Nice.
through there and walk through. Because on one of the scenarios, I was even wondering, did this person sneak in through the sliding glass door upstairs, hide in the closet? So then when they came home, the reason you heard the dog first was because the person came out of the closet and had to play with the dog for a second so it didn't make any noise, and then walked over to the bedroom and committed the crime on the 3rd floor and then came downstairs.
That's possible.
That's just
Yeah.
another thing, because you know, when it comes to no blood trail, especially on that cement patio outside that sliding glass door, that's what
dude.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that would be right there, man. So I
It would
mean, it
have
would be right when you open the slider, it'd be right in like the you know, where the slider slides in and out. It'd be right. They'd be all over the place. It's ridiculous.
Mhm.
No
Even
way.
leading out, it makes you wonder,
Mhm.
was there some sort of and maybe this is why Dylan was afraid not to call if she wasn't involved in any of this, is because maybe he didn't leave right away. Maybe the reason that there was no trails going from the kitchen to the outside is because he had some sort of backpack sitting off as soon as he came in and took the shit off before he walked out of the scene of the crime as well. I don't.
It's a possibility.
None of it
I mean,
makes sense.
well,
Do you
that's why I
think he
kept
could have
asking
left
if
out the front?
well, no, because his car was parked in the back. I'm pretty sure that's where they caught him parking. So I don't think he would have walked out. It wouldn't have made no sense. You walk out the front, and then you got to walk all the way up that street. Nah, I don't think so. But, geez, man. Just here's the thing with
Why
Dylan.
don't you
Though.
think-
Okay, so
Yeah.
the main thing with Dylan. What's that? Why don't I think he went out the front door?
Oh, no. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. StreamYard's being buggy, so it's kind of
Okay.
not linking up our chat.
No worries, man. So my problem with Dylan is a lot, obviously, but I think so. We talked about that crack in the door, right? Even in an inch, you said, but I mean, she was so like 5'10", bushy eyebrows. That's very specific. I'm sorry if I see you an inch through the door. I don't know how damn tall you are unless I really see it. You know, that's just me. But like, I mean, if it's dark and you're looking out the door and it's very minimal light, I mean, she sized him up pretty good. So, I mean, does she know who it was
Right.
already, or is she being told to tell a certain description, or I mean, like what?
Or was this light on in the hallway? Because how can, if it's that dark in there, right? Like, okay, you could have light coming from back here, maybe. But like you said, how are you supposed to see bushy eyebrows?
Okay,
What if
that's the problem I have.
what if there was?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's a
what-
very peculiar angle. So if you close that door, I mean, you'd be looking right at the handle of the stairs, pretty much. I mean,
yeah, it's real close.
let me see it.
They said
Yeah, it's real close.
they said friends would say that they always, some of them thought it was just a closet door because of where it was positioned.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. That you just walked by it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's how do you get the bushy eyebrows? Like, you had to have some sort of light source, and I don't know if a light source from outside that sliding glass window or that door is necessarily going to create enough illumination for
Well,
you to be able to
I think
notice.
they had like a bar light or something like that. Like, you know, they go to a bar and it says like Coors Light or something like that. I think they had like one of those
Oh
lights.
yeah, that's right.
And I think that was, yeah. So I guess
there
that would provide
was-
enough illumination, maybe.
There was that one right there. Ah, that's yeah, you're right. So
No.
as they're walking from the living room to here is where she noticed the bushy.
Yep.
Because yeah, that was like a pink light or something, I think.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's possible, but I mean, I always thought it was very, yeah, seemed contrived to me, but we'll see.
I think he was involved, but that's kind of what I've been thinking lately. DMC. What do you think, Roy? Do you think
so.
Same thing?
Look, after that call yesterday too, I mean, it was just starting to that was percolating in my head, and a lot of the facts that the information that he gave me was lining up with what I'm seeing and what I'm coming across. I never thought, look, he doesn't have the technical skill. He's not trained. Why would you go and try to kill 4 people that you don't know, supposedly, right? You've never been to the house. Nobody knows you. Nobody's seen you. And you want to go try to take on 4 kids that supposedly you don't know in a 2-story house in the middle of the night for your first kill. I have a very hard time believing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see, debunked audio. Where I haven't heard the audio. Oh, the one that came out a couple days ago. That actually came out like earlier in the year. But the one that just came out a few days ago is just some enhanced audio with a couple I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's really legit or not. I've heard a lot of different things on it. Yeah, I'll definitely have to send you the link for that too, man. Let you check it out. We're going to check out this next video from his channel about the rug house. And this is the video, I believe, that the gentleman that called you, this is the one that he noticed. And then is this the video that kind of spawned?
That's what he knew, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it says right there, Mad Greek.
Be like, all right, this guy knows what he's talking about. Yeah.
Sitka, Alaska. So the other picture, is that like a...
It must be, yeah, this is a new one. They must have I just took that, very recently. So
huh.
That must have been
so this is the front.
Okay. Yeah, this is the front. Yep.
Wow. It looks good. All right, let's check this out real quick.
Well, hello, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday weekend and got to spend some time with your loved ones. I'm finishing up in Moscow and Pullman, but thankfully home is pretty close for me. Now, I do want to address the Jack in the Box issue because I will be moving forward from it from now on. It's obvious to me what they are doing and absolutely believe the 3 employees who told me that I was being lied to and actually provided a picture of the driver. To me, that's really hard to beat. So yes, I do know who it is, but that will be for another time. So in today's video, I want to talk about the local aspect of where these crimes occurred, because it is very important. Moscow is a small town that relies heavily on the college for its economy. If the university starts losing enrollment, that's really big trouble for the town. So it's a big reason why everything is tight-lipped from the school and why they want to tear down the house. They do not want to be reminded of it. As far as I'm concerned, that house is still a crime scene, and the jury should have access to it to see it for themselves. They did it in the OJ case. I feel they should do it in this one too. But this is what I really wanted to talk to you about. I'll let you know there is a major drug aspect to this case, and people in the area know it, especially people that lived close to the house or were involved and around it. It has been confirmed that this was a dealer's house, and everybody knew it, even the police. In the body cam footage of the DUI arrest of Emma Bailey, the cops know who she is. That's why they are very nice to her, hoping that she will slip up so they can get to the bigger fish. There's also the very well-known footage of Kaylee and Maddie walking down the street, and Kaylee asking Maddie, "What did you tell Adam?" And Maddie replies, "I told him everything." Then you can hear Jack Showalter say, "They're going to get you for this." Well, who's they? What did she tell Adam? Who would want to get her, and for what reason? Did she spill the beans on Emma and Demetrius and on what was really going on in that house? So could Demetrius possibly have hired some hitman to come out and take Xana out, and everybody else was just unfortunately there? Or is this really just Koberger by himself? I will get into that in tomorrow's video. I hope Everyone has a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next one.
Good stuff, man. So,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
thank you for putting that name up in the chat. Kara or Cara Willis. That's the YouTube channel that has that audio up, buddy. I'll still send you the link, but I do want to put her name up there just because we were talking about that. So when Maddie and Kaylee are walking down there, and she says, "What did you tell Adam?" And she says, "I told Adam everything." What do you think that was?
Well, like the gentleman explained in the telephone call, told Adam everything. Literally, what she
That
did,
she did.
what she did, why she did it, who's involved, and that's why he's like, oh man, they're gonna get you for that one, and well, looks like they did. So,
Right.
I mean, let's think about this. Why? I mean, what's the point of that conversation? Why would that gentleman say that? Oh man, they're gonna get you. What? Who's gonna get you, and for what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would he say that? So obviously, something major was said, and it got back to certain people, and should pay for it.
Hmm.
So I mean, the more I look at it, man, it's got to be Xana and Maddie was the casualty of war, unfortunately. And I don't mean to be disrespectful that way or anything, but it had to be because they both worked there, and I think Xana was involved with the owner and the operation. And Xana has a drug past, and Xana has a drug mom. She grew up in the drug culture, so it's not nothing new to her. She's already immersed in it. She's already part of it. I know. And I just something went down in the house one night. And Maddie got pissed off. Probably went in Xana's room and dumped all her shit. And can't do that.
Mm.
So, I mean, that's kind of makes a lot of sense to me because again, why would Jack say they're going to get you for that if you told somebody everything?
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, it lines up a lot. I mean, it's just common sense, but who really knows? Who really knows? But it does. It's very plausible.
Have you watched the Grub Chuck video before?
Mm-hmm. I've seen it.
Yeah. Do you think anybody? What do you think about the guys that were wearing the jerseys?
I
You know who I'm
don't
talking about?
Yeah, were they like the kind of big football guys, or they had like beards or something? I mean, it's been a while. But...
They were like basketball jerseys and stuff. One had a Kobe Bryant jersey on. I'm trying to. I remember one guy didn't have a shirt on.
Wow, it was freezing that
They
night.
they were those group of guys. There's a group of guys where they were kind of standing separate. The girls were ordering their food. The guys were over on the other side. And then as the girls come walking away after they order their food and they kind of back up a little bit, then you see the guys kind of walk over and like, hey, what's up? And they're all like shaking and
Yeah.
and they're all like giggling back and forth and stuff. And then the conversation kind of moves over to the other side where you pick it up. I don't know, those guys. And then you notice the one guy, he kind of like walks away from the group because there's a couple girls that walk by. And if you look down, I'm going to have to, they don't have the Grub Truck video up anymore. I'm going to have to go into one of my old episodes and I'll kind of explain it. But as you're like looking down, you see a couple girls kind of turn the corner where you don't see them anymore. And then one of the guys that's in there with that group walks away from the group and walks over to the corner and meets those girls. I just always thought that was suspicious.
Also, there's that white truck that circles around when they're walking down the street, having that conversation. So now that's starting to get the gerbil running into my head. So those two guys, are they there? Were they in that white truck? And then they park that white truck and then they walk to the Grubhub and their job is to
scout.
Yeah.
And then watch them leave.
And then watch them leave. And then call whoever and then bada bing, bada boom. Possibility. That's a good point, man. I forgot about that. Yeah. Who do
you think she was pointing to when she said "F you, buddy"? Because I don't think she was pointing to either one of those two dudes standing there. The dude with the long hair on his phone all the time, or the bigger guy with like the Carhartt jacket or whatever.
That's a good question. I don't know who she was. I don't know. I don't really know that situation. I mean, I didn't really look too much into that one, but
I need to go over that grub truck again.
You did, yeah, that white truck. I forgot about that. That might be something. So, because it was circling really weirdly. Like from the, I've been to downtown. It's like in downtown Moscow. It's really hard to make a U-turn there. So I don't know why they were trying to do it there. Obviously, that wasn't a local,
Right.
Town. So that raises a lot of suspicion right there while that white truck was doing that in that area. So I don't know. Maybe they spotted their target and were like, oh, there we go, game time. I don't know.
So when you went to Kopaka's residence, see when I'm looking at the video and then I'm looking at the Google, does the property of the apartment like drop farther down below the same level as the street? Like, does it just kind of cut down to the parking lot, or is it more of a level?
Yeah, no. So it is a little bit of an incline, like especially in the back. But the front of the complex, yeah, it's pretty much street level. But as you walk into the back parking lot, it starts to slope up.
Okay.
So and then that's where you can go to Nevada and Stadium Way right behind. It's right behind that. The house, yeah.
Eljo says they heard Kopaka drove a white truck. Is that true? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
It's hard to find anything anymore on any of that stuff, honestly. Did you? So you said you stopped somewhere and asked about information or something. I remember.
Yeah, I stopped at the leasing office, and maybe they don't know anything. I don't know, but I just said, yeah, just need some information if you have it on Brent Kopaka's roommates, and they didn't know who Brent Kopaka was, or at least acted like it. And then they obviously had no information on them, so it's as far as I was able to get. But I can't find anything online on them. I can't I have no pictures, no names, no nothing. It's just, which I mean, they could be one of two things: they don't exist, or they're hiding them, or they don't want to give out their names, which is understandable. I mean,
right.
It's a traumatic situation that they possibly went through, so I understand that. So I don't even want to find them anyways. I don't think they know any. Well, maybe they would, but who knows?
You would think they would have to have some kind of records, but like you said, it is personal, so maybe they can get in trouble in some way or something. When it comes to that, so it's totally understandable. Just with the whole neighbors thing, though, you try and I don't know. It's just very odd. They come out there because of a hostage situation, but nobody's there. It just never made sense. And I don't know. Do you want to share any of your opinions on what you think took place and how, or?
It's really tough. I mean, look, to me, there's got to be a link between what happened that night and then Koberger getting pulled over the next day, and not once but twice. And especially the first pullover is the FBI. I think it's just too much of a coincidence. So what I think maybe happened is they figured out Kopaka's part in it, and maybe they did come and take him out. It's very, very possible. I mean, because there is news footage of the incident. There's no body cam footage, but there's actual there is news reports about it. Mm-hmm. So I mean, probably something went down. So I would have to say, yeah, that's what happened. They did take him out, but for what reasons? I don't believe that the whole PTSD thing. So have you read this obituary? It's very odd. It's very odd.
It's been a long time. Let me see if I can look it up. I remember reading the whole yeah, there it is right here.
To me, it just came off as odd. I mean, it's supposed to came out by his parents, but here we go.
Let's see. It is with great sadness that our beloved son went to heaven on December 15th, 2022 as a result of a traumatic brain injury sustained in combat in Afghanistan, which led to a 16-year ongoing battle with severe PTSD.
So as that just immediately came to my mind, it's just like, why are they blaming it on traumatic brain injury that happened 16 years ago when everybody supposedly knows what happened to him. So I just found that kind of odd. I mean, maybe that's just the parents trying to not really say what, because that's their son, trying to protect their son, make him look as good as possible. But
Right.
I just found that odd.
And it
Oh,
definitely
so do
does
we know
take.
what Brent Kopacka? This guy's a badass. Do you know what regiment he was in the army
Nah, what's up?
or brigade? Okay, there's he was in a couple of them, but the main one is the 82nd Airborne Division. And so basically, what they are is Special Forces paratroopers, and their um, nickname for their squad is Kill Machine.
Really?
So this dude is bad. This dude's a bad dude. Like this guy can pull some shit. And guess who else was in the 82nd Airborne? But not at the same time. It's just a coincidence, but maybe not. But Detective Brett Payne, he's also in the 82nd. I found that very interesting as well.
Huh. 82nd Airborne. Yeah, and I remember now. I did get an email a couple days ago from somebody that said that she had ran across some threads with the veterans that were talking about this case and actually talking about him in their threads, and basically they're like, yeah, this dude was a machine, like you said. The nickname, they said he was a machine. They called him Six Packa just because he was so fit, and they said that he followed orders to a fault. Like he was that kind, and after he left, had a hard time dealing with it. But I thought it was very interesting that his friends and his family had, after the event took place, a lot of the friends in the family said that for the last couple of weeks, they all knew he was going through something major. And so it makes you wonder when when you look at what was a couple weeks prior.
Yep.
And with how quick it was, somebody would have to be very effective and strategic when it came to the crime, if that's the amount of people and that's how quick, in my opinion, that everything went down.
I just always wonder what made him snap. What was that final straw that said, I'm out of here, like, and I'm taking my roommates with me. That's always perplexed me because there's not like a real clear answer on that. And I mean, is it confirmed that he had PTSD? Is it actually confirmed, or?
Well, this is kind of what we kind of were exploring a few days ago. We were wondering if maybe the call was placed as a setup.
That's absolutely possible.
Because they knew how he would react in a situation, and if you committed that crime and you see them coming in, you automatically think, shit, I'm caught. And then, so it makes you wonder too, like, did the other people that were involved want to hush up somebody else that was involved in it without getting their hands dirty?
Yeah, and they snitched on him. Yeah, okay.
So calling a hostage situation, they come in, you don't find hostages. If he's involved in the crime, he's thinking they're there to apprehend him and take him away for good. So, yeah, I don't know.
Actually, that kind of makes sense because that's why the roommates would maybe be not available or disappeared, because they put they're in custody, they're in protective custody or something like that, and because of what happened with Kopacka. I don't know, that would make some sense. I really would.
Because then you could get rid of that other person and you wouldn't even have anything on your hands, and you basically just pick up a burner phone and call it in, and then it gets traced to a phone that's in the garbage can or something. I mean, I don't know. It's just something that we thought about.
No, it's plausible, man. I mean, like I said, anything's possible at this point, man. So until they tell us what's really happening. So, yeah.
What do you think about the house being tore down?
I don't like it.
I don't either, man.
It's a crime scene still to me, and Look, the O.J. Simpson trial, that was a major piece of evidence in that trial, and same thing here. This is just as high profile of a case, if not more, maybe. I mean, it's right up there with O.J. So I think it would really be beneficial for the jury to go in there and see that house for themselves and see how it's laid out, and maybe even have a loud conversation in there to see how noise actually travels in there. I mean, that's really important stuff. So I don't think it's a good idea to tear it down. I mean, I know the university wants it gone because it's an eyesore and it's a reminder, and kids don't want to go there anymore because they want to look at that house. And I get it. They got their own interest too, but I'm sorry, some guy's life is on the line. There's a lot of shit I don't know. So that house needs to stay, in my opinion, but I don't think it's a good idea. Yeah. But it sounds like they're going to tear it down. Yeah.
I do know that they did before the cleaning crew came in. I remember them putting out information that they had hired now this is what I heard way back in November, so it could be way old news, but I remember them talking about how they brought in this special camera setup that recorded 360 3D, and this was going to be the first trial that was actually going to be able to let the jury use these virtual reality things. No,
it's not the same, dude. They got to go in the house. All right. They got to go in the house. They got to see it. They got to feel it. They got to walk up the stairs. They got to go in the rooms. Like, they got to be there. Remember when I told you earlier, it's so much different when you're there, dude. You can, like when we go to look at maps, it's not the same, right? But when you're there and you see it for yourself, and you like,
you feel it. Yeah.
Dude, imagine walking in that door and you're just like, oh shit, I know what the hell happened here. Like, that'll hit you, dude. That'll make you think. That'll get your adrenaline rushing. So, it'll be different. That'd be different I just try to imagine myself there, and I know that would totally change, my perspective on things if I went in there and be like, really saw it for myself and like figured out how there's absolutely no blood trail at the back door, and like, so that's a good question too. Did they ever confirm if that blood trickling out the back of the house was that blood, or was that just like rust or something?
No, it was blood.
It was blood.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
it because the injury was so massive that, and I want to bring something else up to you too, but the injury was so massive that enough of it exited and the floorboards weren't. It was kind of like a cheap build.
Right.
A lot of these expensive houses, trust me, I did the construction on them. I saw the types of shit that builders would just roll on, so I totally understand how it would actually come through the floor and then come out where the foundation hit, where the wood was supposed to be for the floor, because it wasn't properly level. So then it would exit through any of those cracks where it's not level, and then that's where it would drip out onto the foundation.
Okay.
Now the interesting part about that is now it's been put out there that E was the one that was laying in the bed. Now, E was the only one that was stated as being unalived with a sharp, blunt object. So what the hell could that be, and why didn't they say that he was unalived with a knife?
It's very interesting. Well, wouldn't that mean there's two people then? Because that's two different weapons.
And what weapon would create that because X was laying on the floor.
Right. Okay.
He was laying.
So that kind of doesn't make any sense to me, because Ethan is a big boy. So you would have to take Ethan out first. I thought that they walked in and got him from behind, and then Xana was on the bed. But maybe I'm wrong on that. But
let me go back to this. Yeah. I thought that too,
find that out,
but I think he was, and she was on the floor. This is Orbit or 1122 tour here. Actually, let me put the link in chat, because if nobody has this, it's definitely a great tool. Do you have this as well, man?
I need to, dude. This is what I want to get. I definitely need
Okay.
this.
Here, I'll put that in private chat for you, man. And then if you needed an email, just
Thank
let
you.
me know. Yeah, no problem. If you
I'll
go
definitely-
to the, it's great to like explain shit too. So if you go to the second bedroom, right? Okay, so click here. So if I'm looking from here, this is where E was supposedly laying, and then you come back over here. Whoa, it took me to a different room. It took me in the basement. 1 second.
So, oh, it's the basement. That's why I was like, that doesn't look right.
Yeah, here we go. So if I'm standing here, this is where Zaina was found, right here by the door. So that trail coming outside
Okay.
is nowhere even close to where she's but E is. So
You get
if
dragged there.
if he, not that he was laying right here, but he was up against this area of the bedroom. So that would have been where the blood trail came from. Now, if he was the only one stated that was unalive from a sharp, blunt object, not a knife like the others,
Well,
what the hell could it
then
have
what is
been?
it? Yeah.
And that's one of my
I
biggest
mean,
questions.
could it be could he hit him with the back of the knife? But why would you do that? Why don't you just stab him, right? So that doesn't make any sense.
But dude, the amount of
What-
liquid that had to come through to seep out onto that foundation, it had to be like
It's ridiculous. It'd be
that's
a
what
horror show. Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, what could it
Yeah.
have
There's no way,
been?
dude.
Because sharp, blunt
A
object.
machete?
But that's what I was gonna say, man. Because what I mean, seriously,
To me, that's
what else could create that?
what else are you gonna bring? Exactly, dude. You know what I thought at first? I was like a sword, but I was like, no, that'd be stupid. Oh, gotta be. What's a smaller version of a sword? Oh, a machete.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then, dude, if you who uses machetes? If possible, you know, we're theorizing here, but who uses machetes usually in when they're going to take out people? People that belong to a cartel,
Mm-hmm.
people that belong to a gang or some shit like that.
Machete shit.
So there's
And
definitely so if there's two different weapons there's two different people there. So you're telling me Koberger has a knife in one hand and a fucking machete in the other? I don't think so, dude. I don't think so, man. That don't make no sense.
so this is another question. So if they didn't go upstairs first,
Mhm.
because if they did, the people that are going up there to commit the crime might be having somebody walking up behind them, especially if a dude's in the house, or or however many people. All they know if they're looking through the window or if they're encountering people is just a couple. So they don't know if somebody's going to be walking up from behind them. So I know what you're saying when it's like, but if you're going to go, wouldn't you think that you would go to this room first? And so then it makes me wonder, well, if there was 2 or 3 individuals, who's to say that they didn't go to each room at the same damn time? Because you got a knife,
Just bomb rush them.
sharp, blunt object, but it said blunt object too. So then it makes you, it's like, what is sharp,
A sharp
and blunt?
object.
What is sharp and blunt?
That's got to be a machete.
I thought. So, and that would
I just can't think of
definitely.
anything else. I mean, I'm sure there's something. Yeah. But, I mean, you got to think if you're going to walk into a house and do this, you want to keep, you got to be able to hide your weapon a little bit so you can hide a machete pretty, just hold it down to your
Why not
by the side of your
golf
leg or
clubs?
something. But
Do you think golf clubs would make
golf
that?
club?
You think golf clubs would make that much?
No.
I don't.
Blood? Hell no. You got to beat the hell out of somebody to make that much blood with the.
And
Were they pulverized?
Right, and if that ring cam's real, well, then
you-
it would be over and over and over and over, not just a thump.
No, you would have to beat the hell out of those people. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't see a golf club. I mean, who knows? But
And I think the thump
it wouldn't be my
was
first choice to take it to
take it to what?
So obviously, okay. So Ethan is the one that gets. Okay, let's clarify this. Ethan is the one that gets the blunt force,
Right.
sharp object. Yes.
Sharp
Okay.
blunt
So
object.
obviously, by process of elimination, there has to be two people because Xana gets knifed and gets her hand cut off, or her fingers cut off. That's two different weapons, two different people. Has to be,
Mhm.
man.
Mhm.
At the same time, has to
Mhm.
be.
Mhm.
Has to be.
So maybe
So yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
somebody
I
did
mean,
go upstairs first and somebody also went into the second bedroom first
I think it's a
because
tag team. At least it's got to be a tag team. Yeah.
and I think the thump and I honestly think the thump was the noise that was done to E.
Ethan
Be,
dropping. Yeah.
right. I
Yeah.
think it was one
He
big
got hit.
thump from a sharp blunt object because it's got blunt in it too. I think that was the thump, not somebody falling down. I think it was that was the thump, and then you start to hear the other sounds. And when it comes to somebody saying it's okay, I'm here to help you. I don't think it was somebody that was doing this to help. I think somebody else came in, maybe that third person. Uh, Maybe they were supposed to
Mhm.
be there as a lookout. Hey, if it goes longer than 5 minutes, come inside. Fuck, it's longer than 5 minutes. Walks in, I'm here to help you. You know,
Hmm.
gangs
Maybe.
use machetes.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Definitely is too. It
I
has to
mean,
be.
because that has to be two people.
Has to be, especially when, like,
There's
even
just
in the
no way.
PCA, it says suspect
Mhm.
vehicle 1. Well, that means if you're put
There you go.
suspect vehicle means one vehicle. Suspect vehicle 1 means there's more than one. Because why would you need to number it if there's not more than one?
Exactly. Exactly. And just like we said, occupants. Now then you change it to occupant of a water launcher. Come on, you don't. We know. I mean, police do not say those things unless they're pretty sure, and then give it to the press to tell the public. So they did that. The Moscow City Police say no. There's occupants, and then they tell the press, and then the press told us. So that's what the police said. The police are the ones that said occupants first. The press doesn't say that unless the police say that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's where they're
So there
supposed
you
to, get their information.
go.
Jack D balancing on an axe. Somebody brought up an axe. That's a good point.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, that is a
Very
good
good one.
point because
Hatchet.
that would
Oh,
that would be one
yeah.
thump and you would create that much damage. State Zana on the floor. It doesn't say. It only says he was also in the room.
So
Yeah. I mean,
how does all that blood? Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, man. Who's to say he
No, I was
wasn't
just
laying
wondering.
on the floor right next to the bed? That's all I was going to say to chat.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only reason I can. That was going to be my question: is how the hell does that blood get all the way to seeping out of the house? So that means he's got to be on the floor, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And that's got to be coming out of his neck or something, like the slice. I like right because
Yeah,
I
don't
that's where
see
your main
it
arteries.
leaking.
That's where your big arteries are. So.
Yeah, I don't see it leaking through the mattress, and he would have had to been on the floor. And who's to say the bed wasn't moved over? Sorry, man.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. You just convinced me there's two people. I mean, I already knew this, but there's no way. There's no fucking way, dude.
And with that phone call you had, he said 3.
That's very believable.
That's got me
Especially
wondering.
now that I learned. I didn't. Yeah. This is it, dude. This dang hit, dude. I'm sorry. This was a tag team of some sort. They were there to hunt somebody. You being a blunt force object and a knife, yeah, you're there to fuck shit up, dude. You're sending a message. You were sending a message.
And so then you start to wonder, well, why in Dylan's statement she just see one person?
Maybe that's the guy that's heading out the back door. The other two went out the front. I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense either. But or maybe she maybe she did see Koberger walk out the back, but it was after everything happened, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm out of here." I don't know. But then that would have meant he would have had to go to Ethan and Xana's room. So who knows?
Right, yeah, because he would have had to been coming in from the living room with the good vibes light shining on his face in order for her to see the eyebrows.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what do you think about Emma? Do you think she was inside or outside or just not even around? I haven't checked.
Okay, so what the guy said with the 3.
Yeah.
What the guy okay, so you bring up a good scenario here. I think with what the guy told me, as we all heard yesterday, the guy from the phone call with the 3 people. So that would be Emma Bailey, Demetrius, and Kopaka. And I think Emma Bailey is the one that Dylan possibly saw because they looked the damn same. They had the same eyebrows. You can misjudge her. Emma Bailey's about 5'7", 5'8". So that's only 2 or 3 inches. Yep. She's 5'7", 5'8". So that's only 2 or 3 inches shorter than Koberger. So in your terrorized, drunk, high state, whatever, probably all 3, maybe possibly. Is it possible you could maybe miss somebody's height by a couple inches? It's very, very, very possible. Okay, put a mask on Emma Bailey and you see those eyebrows. Same fucking person, man. It's like the same damn person.
That's interesting because, like I was telling Chad, I was like, hey, 5'10", you got to go 2 above and 2 down. You got to have some kind of margin. So I never thought about it being her, though.
That's okay. So I asked my assistant actually brought this to my attention. She was like, because I asked her, I was like, can you find out how tall Emma Bailey is too? She's like, yeah, she's like 5'8", 5'7", at least. I was like, okay, and that's when it started clicking in my head. Yeah, I was like, yeah, she could easily. What if she's wearing heels, or or those boots that give her a couple extra inches, right? Like combat boots or something.
Right.
Big thick soles got an inch or 2. That'll make you 5'10" right there.
Yeah,
she looks like Koberger. We call Koberger's sister. So you could easily be walking out that back door. Easily.
That's interesting. I never even thought about her being in there like that. Huh. So what do you think? It was BLK, E, and D that went? Is that what you're thinking? Or
BLK?
Yeah, Kopaka.
Oh, Bradley Kopaka. I think still have to turn it. I don't know. I think obviously the target was Xana and Maddie, obviously. So maybe they split off. One went upstairs, Kopaka went upstairs, and Emma and Demetrius, because it was a little more personal for them, went after Xana. That makes a lot more sense to me. Demetrius took out Ethan with the blunt force with an axe, hatchet, whatever the hell, and then Emma went and took care of Xana. Demetrius might have walked out the front door. I don't know, Kopaka, whatever. Maybe he went real quick and he just went out the front door too. And then I don't know why Emma goes out the back. I don't, these are just possible scenarios. I don't know, but I'm starting to highly suspect that Emma was the one that Dylan actually saw. The bushy eyes.
Social butterfly types. Emma lived directly behind a lot.
Yes, she did. She lived on 1619 Shetland Court. I've been there.
Those apartments back up behind.
No, it's a house.
Oh, the house, not the apartments.
Nope, it's the house. So it's really here's the thing.
Where the girl got broken, where the house got broken into? That one? No, a different one.
It's 1619 Shetland Court. Actually, thank you for bringing this back up, because here's why I think Emma Bailey did walk out the back door, because she's walking straight to her damn house. All you got to do is walk out the back trail and then walk to the sides of the house, and it goes right to that back street, which is Walenta. And guess where Walenta goes? Right to these big ass long stairs, like 7 or 8 flights down.
Right.
And guess what? All you got to do is more left, and that's house. So she had easily ran out, gone through the neighbors' backyards, which they're all connected, and then you can go up to the street. You see what I'm talking about? Yep, right here. Yep, go on to, and then you make that first left, and then there's these big ass long stairs right there. That goes. She could easily run down those stairs, and there's just trees over there. So once she gets to those stairs, you're gone. You're unseen. So she easily could.
I'm trying to think of where I.
Okay.
They're like back up here, right, or somewhere.
Yeah, worse.
Or is this? I remember
that
seeing the stairs. Oh, it's King. Let me see here.
Yeah, that's King.
1 second. Yeah, I remember seeing them stairs, and I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah, that goes directly to her house, dude. Once you get to the bottom of the stairs, you make a left. Her house is right there. And there's no cameras on that road.
Oh, where were they at?
Mm-hmm.
Up farther?
Okay. Yeah, are you like directly behind the house or? Okay, that's okay. So yeah, if you go all the way up the street, there you go. I think so. Yeah, that's the top. Yeah, so if you turn that corner, and make that first left, you should see some stairs coming up right around that corner.
Oh yeah, right there.
Right there on the right.
Yep.
Right down at the bottom of those stairs is one Emma Bailey's house. Yep, there's the stairs. Boom.
Interesting.
See what I'm talking about? See how far she can go right down there. Disappear.
Yep, and there's the road leads right to it.
Shetland Court.
Wow.
So that's why I think
Chad.
a high possibility Emma Bailey could just pop out right. That's where she was going. Just going back to her house. It's that close.
And then literally, you're walking out, you're just walking through some woods and some twigs. And I don't even think it snowed at the time. I think it still had leaves on the ground, didn't it? No?
Yeah, because if there was snow, guess what? We would have had a blood trail of some sort.
Right. And how are you supposed to get blood?
Really get blood in snow.
In mud. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, it's very plausible.
There's another video I wanted to check out of yours real quick, and I don't think I've actually watched this one, about Maddie or Zaina were the target, and that Ethan and Kaylee were wrong place at wrong time. Let's check that one out real quick. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight, man. I appreciate it. Great conversations, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Good to see you again. Thank you so much for stopping shit. Oh, you guys love that last video. I mean, you guys are all over it, and those comments are fantastic. Thank you very much. And thank you for all the new
Good
subs.
stuff, man.
Thank you for appreciating the work. So today I am on the go, henceforth the GoPro. I'm traveling work, the trip of the season. So after this, thankfully, I'll be done. So won't be able to post tomorrow, but I'll be back at it on Sunday. All right, guys. So today I want to talk about how I've pretty much come to the conclusion that the only two realistic targets are Maddie or Xana. And here's why. So we're going to do a little math. It's not going to be too hard. I don't like math either, but I'll make it easy. So as we know, there's 6 people in that house on the morning of November 13th. We know who they all are. So immediately we're going to take away, here's the subtraction. We're going to take away 2 people because they're still alive and they survived the attack. Bethany or Dylan. So now we're down to 4. So out of those 4, 2 people don't live at that house. That's Ethan, who was just there as a guest of Xana to spend the night with his girlfriend. And then there's poor Kaylee, who moved out, was on her way to Texas the next morning to start a new job and a new life, and just wanted to spend the night with her best friend one more time. So we're going to take those 2 away because they're not supposed to be there. So who does that leave? That leaves Maddie or Xana. Now, this is where Koberger comes in. So as we all know, he was pinged 12 times in that area before the crimes occurred. Now we all know he's been to the Mad Greek.
Nice.
He sees Maddie there, gets fixated on her, and gets upset there, starts following her on social media, sliding up in her DMs. But she's not paying attention.
Sorry, man, I couldn't pause it quick enough. Go ahead, man.
No, somebody in your comment section brought up a good point that the latent footprint was a size 9. I don't think Kohlberger wore a size 9.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that too. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, some great comments tonight. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks, guys. Really cool. Thank you. Yeah. I watched myself enough. I watch the comments now.
This is, man, great content. Not only you get to see what everything looks like and just, you know, being there without being there, but great personality in the videos too, man. You're definitely unique, and you know, I'm excited for your channel. You're gonna do great, man.
I hope so.
They're following her on social media, sliding up in her DMs, but she's not paying attention. She doesn't get back to him, and this enrages him, and he finally snaps. So on that morning, he comes, does not expect Kaylee to be there, does not expect Xana and Ethan to be there. So he goes upstairs looking for Maddie, and he's got to take out Kaylee and Maddie because they're there. On his way down, he hears Xana and Ethan because the DoorDash came and they're eating food. They found remnants of Jackbox in Xana's stomach. And we know she was on TikTok at about, what, 4:15 or something? 4:12, 4:15.
Yeah, 4:12.
So she was still alive up to that point. He hears them. He goes in, takes them out.
Oh, okay.
And that's who Dylan sees walking out the back door, bushy eyes with a mask. Or, like Steve Concalves said, he didn't need to go upstairs. And this is where Xana comes in. And maybe she's caught up with Demetrius and Emma Bailey, like I said before, dealing drugs out of that house. And so something goes down. Drugs get stolen. Money gets stolen. Maybe Xana's mom has something to do with it. And as we've established, Demetrius and Emma are ride or die people. They're going to do whatever they got to do to get it done. You rob them, you're done. So I'm thinking they came in. Still haven't figured out the DoorDash part. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But maybe they came in just shortly after the DoorDash arrived. And they're going for Xana. And unfortunately, Ethan's there. Now, Demetrius is a big boy. He's violent. He's got a violent past, all right? This guy is not past, like I said, doing what he's got to do.
Yeah, we heard
Emma
that.
Bailey is his confidant, his girlfriend. And she will ride or die with him. So they're going to get Xana. Ethan's there. Poor guy gets done too. And unfortunately, the girls are upstairs. They hear them. They go up, take care of them. They walk out the back door. Now, here's another thing. There's no blood trail at the back. And this is why also I think Emma and Demetrius more than likely has something to do with it, because they would have a stash of clothes there. They would have a change of clothes, okay? So they would be able to change their clothes and then walk out without leaving a blood trail.
Yep.
So that's kind of where I'm at with this. I think it's either Xana or Maddie that are the targets. And there's only two possibilities now. It's Koberger or it's Emma Bailey and Demetrius Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, it's a good point because there's no blood trails going outside. You don't even have a good enough, you got one shoe print, you know. So I think that's a mixture of, number one, what you just brought up, having some sort of change of clothing, whether at the scene of the crime, right through the door, or it also makes you wonder, like, you know, did they, like, how did they leave too? Because you have the students, you know, the friends that came over, they obviously, I mean, think about it. the friends that were over there first. Then when EMS shows up, they're not even prepared to show up to a crime scene like that. They're thinking unconscious. They just
Yes.
need to go out there and, wake some, so they're not even prepared to walk into a crime scene like that. And then, so you got students up there. You have EMS going up there, not even knowing that they're supposed to have the proper equipment. That I think is why there's only one footprint or shoe print or whatever. That could be separated, but I don't know. They had to have some clothes there.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. Because how the hell do you do it unless you're wearing plastic bags or something? I mean, I don't know, but even then, you got to get rid of the plastic bags. So either, okay, does it make sense to like bring a backpack with you with a change of clothes and then put it like by the sliding glass door, go do what you got to do, and then run outside and then change your clothes? Does that make sense? No.
Well, when
If
I
you-
first
Mhm.
well, when I first started, like in the very, 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 very beginning, I'm saying like the first week, I remember there being threats on Paradise Path of somebody on a bicycle dressed in black, with a backpack that was threatening people with a knife.
Oh.
And so when the crime took place, and it was like maybe a week from the crime, and I'm thinking, well, that was probably the same person, and he had some kind of rejection issue or something like that. And I was picturing some dude on a bicycle driving or riding his bike from some student apartments. This is before the PCA and any of this stuff. I was thinking that some dude rode his bike on the bike path to the scene of the crime, because you could literally do that from the college to the crime scene. And then I pictured the dude sitting in the trees behind the sliding glass door with his backpack sitting outside out there, and then committing the crime and all that other stuff. But then when we started to find out the PCA and all of these other things, then that quickly went out the door. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like if you think that like this, like if you study crime enough or whatever, maybe like if it was Koberger, maybe the dude thought he was like so smart about everything that I'm gonna bring a backpack with a change of clothes, and that's how he was gonna enter it. But I don't understand what else would make sense with the no blood trails. Just nothing.
I don't either. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is somebody had a stash of clothes already. That's really the only thing that makes plausible sense at the moment to me. But or somebody brought a backpack. Maybe, I don't know. I guess that's possible if you're going to carry around two different weapons. But
right. So why not bring? Yeah, if you're gonna leave your phone on after you leave the house until a couple minutes later, then why not bring a backpack?
Might as well. Yeah.
What do you think about the DoorDash, man? Do you think that was a setup? Because I thought it was.
Yes, I do. The more I get into it, I definitely think it is, because I think that's how they distracted Xana or something like that. Yeah.
Got access.
They just waited for the DoorDash to come and go, and then they're like, boom, and just got her.
Mm-hmm.
See, as I mentioned in the video with the guy with the call, that it takes, especially in Pullman. Okay, so Pullman / Moscow, I don't know, let's say there's probably 60,000 population. I'm sorry, but on 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be very, very, very hard to find a DoorDash driver that's going to go out to Pullman and then out to Moscow. Like, that's going to be really hard to find one. I guess they found one, but that takes a long time. Okay, that's going to take 1.5 hours, 2 hours probably for that person to get out there. So when exactly was that order placed, and when exactly did they get there? That would be very helpful, because if that DoorDash driver gets there around, I don't know. So the girls are said to be home about 1:45.
I heard 1:52.
Okay, so yeah,
because they were on the Grub Truck video at like 1:48, 1:49 or something, and then I think it takes like 5 or 6 minutes to get home from there. I'm thinking, but I could be wrong. It's been so long since I looked at it.
Is the DoorDash caught on camera? Like, is that confirmed that they were there at 4:00?
Well, here's the weird thing, and I think that's why it was caught on camera, because when we would do our Google walk around and stuff, Google guy, uh, eventually the scene of the crime was blurred out, but then for the longest time now, the house next to it is also blurred out. I can't even. Hold on one second. It's not even letting me. Are you serious? You can't even go down that road anymore. Well, never mind. They blocked the whole damn thing out. Shit, last week you could go there and you could literally see you could see everything, but they just started blurring out the little walkway there between these two buildings that goes to this parking lot where the body cam stuff is at. They recently blurred that out. Now, this house next to it right here, this house had been blurred out for a while. And I thought maybe that's because the Google guy actually showed the location of the surveillance camera. And so they had to blur it out.
Maybe.
But I think that's where the surveillance took place. I don't know if they... I have not heard what direction the camera was in. But yeah, I definitely think it was a setup with the DoorDash. I don't know DoorDash. I don't use it. Can you place an order on DoorDash 6 hours ahead?
Emma Bailey knows it. Emma Bailey knows how to use it. She's used to be a DoorDash driver.
Well, this is the
know how to
weird thing
figure
I heard
that.
about the... yeah, I heard that too. I also heard that the person that delivered the DoorDash was the same person that ordered the DoorDash, and it was on an account that was named Zaina that wasn't associated with the typical account that Zaina would use for DoorDash. And I also heard that the money was uploaded on the DoorDash with a gift card, so it had no ties to a credit card number. Have you heard anything about that?
That's the first I've ever heard of that. So if that's true, then that to me sounds like somebody setting her up.
Yeah.
I mean, who pays with a gift card for DoorDash? I never heard
Right.
of that. So.
A burner phone, a gift card, so there's no ties. And
Trace.
yeah. And then I don't know. I can't remember where I heard this, but yeah, I had heard that the person that delivered it was the same person that ordered it.
Oh shit! Wow. Okay. Tell you, man. I mean, look, dude. We get deeper and deeper into this, man. You start asking the right questions. You start gathering information, and guess what? Shit don't line up, does it? Does not line up.
None of it.
None of it.
And it goes from the first fucking press conference that Ellie put out about an unalive, self-unalive situation. Because when I heard that shit, I was like, who in the fuck does this? You know what I mean? Like, who in the fuck does this?
Stabs him. Yeah, come on.
It just never made sense from the get-go, man. Man, I want to thank you so much for hanging out. I know you got to go here shortly, man. Is there anything that you want to cover or talk about before you got to take off, man?
Anybody has any questions, more than welcome. No problem.
Yeah, if anybody and I was asking the mods because I knew the typing was going to go fast. I was asking them to kind of gather some of the questions, and I will also go through the replay, and I will also be writing some questions down. We did talk about possibly having like a show just for questions and answers in the future, if you guys would be interested for that. So if we do not get to any of the questions, or maybe even some of the great points that you guys put in chat, I'll definitely be jotting them down, and we can go over them in the next show and just have nothing but questions and answers the whole time. Maybe even open up the phone line or open panel even, if you're comfortable with that too, man. I think it would be really cool just to take questions the whole time. And
that's excellent. Yeah, I would love to
chat with other people. You know, I want to hear them. I want to hear what they have to say because I just reading the comments, I was like, hey, all right, there's a lot of good stuff in there. So
Yeah, a lot of great points, information, and I apologize for not being able to keep up with it. I do apologize about that, but I will be going through the replay and I will be checking all the messages and making sure we get all that down. So yeah, man, we can always do that stuff in the background, and then I'll just put up a notey whenever you would want to do that. I appreciate you hanging out, man. When I first came across your channel a few days ago, and I saw the mental, and I was like, man, me and him are like right here. So the fact that we ran into each other, man, is awesome.
Yeah,
And just the conversations, great conversation tonight, man. I really appreciate it, and I can't
man, it
wait
was
to.
awesome. Had a great
Yeah.
time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. But yeah, man, keep doing what you're doing, bro. You're doing fucking amazing, man. And I'm
Thank you.
excited and I'm happy for you. And whatever whatever you would need me around for, or whatever, or just hang out or whatever. I mean, dude, even if you want to come over on a certain night out of the week just to hang out and talk about this shit, you're more than welcome to. My casa is your casa, buddy. So you just let me know.
I appreciate that, man. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, man. And definitely, if you're not subbed, definitely go sub. Thou shalt not kill true crime. Dude, the headline picture you have up there, I was like, dude, that's perfect. I had to put it on the thumbnail, man.
Well, my
great
name is
picture.
Rory. So my name is Rory, and it's Irish. So this is the Celtic Eye of Fire. So that's why I put that in there. So
Wow. I like
Yeah.
it, man. It looks good. It looks cool.
Isn't it cool? Yeah, it caught my eye immediately. I was like, oh, that's perfect. Oh, it's Celtic? Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking neat. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
man. I appreciate you hanging out. Thank you so much for your time, man. Great content, great work. I just can't say enough good things about you. And when it comes to your community posts that you put up before the show, man, thank you so much for the kind words too. Not about just the show and myself in general. People don't have to say those things. And when they do, they mean it. And I appreciate you for that, man. I really do. Thank you for the kind words.
I only say it because it's true. So there you go.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, man.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And everybody, I hope you have a peaceful and positive evening. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.